The Ceedys Cooking Show, where there's something old, something new, something super delicious just for you. And tonight we're going to be making for you my sweet onion and mushroom steak. Where I went to my local market and I got these beautiful, beautiful, thick steaks. I came in for work, I washed my hands, and I'm ready to prepare our steaks. The first thing we do today, I want to show you a little trick. Because if it's something old and something new, I'm going to show you a new trick. I went and got some, I can't believe it's butter, and I put it in a syringe. Then you take your syringe and you just put it in there and poke it in. And you just put it just like that. Right into your steak. And this is just assure that it's all the way in there really good. Whoop! That pops out really good, huh? And you get it all the way in, just like that. And once you get it in there, so we can put that there. And you can see how that looks. Look how that looks. It's very nice. Now that we have that, you have that all over there like that. And just let the butter just marinate in there. Now I'm going to be using my seasoning. In this cup, I have Lipton onion soup. And it also have in it accent, black pepper, but I didn't use any salt. And you say, why no salt, Ceedy? Because the Lipton onion soup has a little bit of salt content. So this year, we're going to cook a little bit healthier, but a lot more yummier. And so you're going to sprinkle a little bit of that over your steaks, just like so. And then you kind of like rub it in. Just like that. And make sure your hands are superly clean. Alright. Now that you did that, you got that all rubbed in really good. And this is the side that's going to be down in the skillet. So you want to get that really good because this is the side that's going to be down. You don't have to worry about the other side because the other side is going to be face up and the rest of the seasoning is going to be on top of it. So you make sure you have this side seasoned really good. Now that you have that side seasoned, and look at that. Isn't that nice? And look how thick these steaks are. Oh, I love these steaks. But meanwhile, we have in this cup, we have our mushrooms. I use canned mushrooms because they're very nice and tender, and they don't need much cooking time. I use a sweet onion that I cut up very, very thin. You want them to be as thin as you can cut them. I have 1.5 cups of water, which I'm going to add to make our nice gravy. And in here I have 1 tablespoon of sugar. Here we have our 3 cups of rice to add to our 3-part water to make our minute rice. You know Ceedy loves her minute rice. So I'm going to come back in a few minutes and I'm going to show you how we're going to start cooking our sweet onion and mushroom steaks. Welcome back to Ceedys Cooking Show. Something old, something new, something super delicious just for you. And today we're getting ready to cook our nice sweet onion and mushroom steaks. Now, I have my beautiful pot set. Do you see them? Oh, I love butter yellow. But this is my beautiful pot set. And I got this for my Christmas gift. Here we're going to be cooking our 3 cups of water. It's already boiling. So we're going to turn that up a notch so it can get boiling there. We have our skillet here, which we're going to be using, and I'm going to remove these extra ones out of the way. We have our skillet here. I want you to get a really deep dish skillet so we can have a little depth to it so we can add all our nice seasoning. So you put your skillet on. I'm going to be cooking with a little bit of oil, very lightly. You don't want to use too much oil in it. So you want to add just a cap of that. And now we have that cooking. We take those delicious thick steaks. Remember we have those nice steaks? And now that we have those thick steaks, I want to just come in here. Excuse me. And we're going to add these right in here on this side. Remember how we got to put them? You hear that? That shows you that our oven, that our skillet is nice and hot. And these are big, so I'm going to cook 2 at a time because I can't really get my third one in there. Now we're going to let those cook on this side till it caramelizes. What you want to do, you just want to just sting them a little bit, and I call them just to braise them, and another name that they use in the cooking world, braising our steak. So we're going to cook it a little bit on this side, and then when we turn it over, we're going to add the rest of our seasoning. Meanwhile, we have our 3 cups of water cooking in our pot here. And this is our 3 cups of water, and they're cooking. Once it starts boiling, we're going to add our 3 cups of rice that we begin to show you at the beginning of the show. Come back and I'll show you how we're going to put all this together into our pot. Welcome back. And here we have our steaks cooking. And we have them in there looking nice. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And we're going to let that continue to braise a little bit. While that's cooking a little bit, we already have our other 2 that we had in there. We're going to look in our water. That's cooking very well. Ooh, it's starting to boil. So we have our 3 cups, which I was telling you about, the 3 cups of rice ready to go into our pot. So you just add those 3 cups of rice into the mixture here. And we're going to give it a little toss. Give me a second. And we just stir that around just to get our rice underneath the water really good. Now that our rice is in there, you put the top back on that. Turn your meat over one last time. And we're going to add our other meats back in. Now that they're back in there, oh, don't they look nice? Yummy. Them are some big steaks. We almost didn't have room for them. Now that we have that back together, I'm going to go in and add just our water. Remember we had talked about the water? And you want to just have it just enough so that it can be over your steaks, just a tab over it. Sprinkle the rest of your seasoning, as so. Sprinkle a little bit of the rest of, this is the sugar we talked about. And this is our mushrooms. We've turned down our fire to about 3. And basically, it's already ready. You just give it a little toss, just like this. You don't need to turn it or anything. You just basically just move it around so that your seasoning will get into your meat really good. And meanwhile, let's take our rice off and put it right in the back because it's already cooked. Now what we're going to do is add our nice sweet onions right on the top of this. Oh, look at that. Doesn't that look yummy? Oh my God. Welcome back to Ceedys. Well, we have our nice sweet onions and mushrooms simmering in our pot. So what do? You keep your top on it and you put it on low. Let it simmer for about 5 or 10 minutes and it's ready. Meanwhile, we have our rice that's already cooking very good, and you just let that cook. You remember, when you're doing minute rice, all you have to do is boil your water. After you boil it, you add your rice, and then you simply turn your fire off, just like so, and you're ready. And you let it sit. So what it's doing is cooking for that 5 minutes. Same time that it's going to take for your steaks to be done. So after it cooks for about 5 minutes, we're going to plate it. But while we're waiting, let's take a peek and look how it looks. Doesn't that look good? Now, while we was on our break, I put the rest of that butter. You know, we had that little bit of butter. So if you look at it, it looks like we have a little bit of butter mixture in there, and it's making its own gravy. That's what it's doing. It's caramelizing, and it's making a nice gravy to it. But the whole purpose of it is that we just want our onions to just braise just a little bit. We don't want to overcook our sweet onions. So what the onion is doing is giving us flavor and making it taste really good. So while that's cooking, we'll come back in about 5 minutes and I'm going to show you how we're going to plate this beautiful meal for 2 people. You might have a spouse or maybe your significant other. This is the year and the time of year that you want to show love. So I know that you have somebody that you love dearly that you want to cook one of these great meals for. Thank you for coming and thank you for joining me and Ceedys Cooking Show. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Ceedys, where it's something old, something new, something super delicious just for you. And I made it just like that. So here we are. Look at my beautiful tablescape. This is my sweet onions and mushroom steak. Now I'm going to go in for a taste. Oh, it is super smooth. I mean, it cuts so easily. I love it. And we're going to go in for a nice taste. Have some of those nice onions and some of them nice mushrooms. Look at that. I'm going to have a big piece of mushroom since I can't get it on here. It's always when I'm going to eat something. Okay, let's go in for a taste. It melts in your mouth. You can taste the nice sweet onions. Let's have a little bit more with the rice. You don't even have to chew it. It's nice, it's moist, it's smooth. When you buy good steak, it tastes really good. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining me. But I want to say something to you. Maybe you don't have a significant other. Maybe you don't have a husband. But you can cook for yourself. Make a steak for yourself. Enjoy yourself. And even this is a time of year where you can adopt somebody. You can adopt a parent. Maybe you know an older woman who have nobody. Invite her over for dinner. Make some nice steak for her. Cook in front of her. You know how it is nowadays. Anything that you cook, people want to see how you make it. This is why I made this beautiful steak to share with the world today. Thank you for joining Ceedys, where there's something old, something new, something super delicious just for you. And remember, you can make it just like that.